61 on the calendar in the matter of Barton versus Chandler.
Thank you, Bird.
You're quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
Ms. Barton, you were selling a car.
Yes.
The defendant came to look at the car, and she came with a friend, and you allowed her to take the car out for test drive. Mm-hmm. She had an accident with the car, and you want her to pay for your out-of-pocket expense. Yes. Ms. Chandler says that your insurance company should have taken care of it, so she doesn't know why she's here. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What kind of car were you selling, Ms. Barton?
It was a 1994 Honda Prelude. This is what it looked like at the time.
And how much were you selling it for?
At the time when she had talked to my husband about buying the car, I think they had agreed on $6,500.
What date did she come over to take a look at it?
On August 8th.
And who did she come with?
With both of the two boys that were there.
With these two young men?
And a little girl.
Whose little girl?
Jason's.
How old is your daughter?
She's 5 now.
Did they all take the car out for a test run?
No, just her and the first one there.
What's your name?
Jesse.
Jesse what?
Kerbo.
What time did they take the car out?
It was in the evening, probably around 5 or 6 o'clock.
Did you ask her if she had a driver's license?
I asked, and she said she had a driver's license. She said she worked actually at a car dealership moving their cars around. And I actually asked her to leave the car that she came in and one of the people with me. I was actually more worried about maybe them just taking the car.
Okay, so she left the car that they came in, and she left this young man and
Yes.
his 5-year-old as hostage.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And they came back how much later?
They did not come back.
What happened?
After about a half hour, when I was very worried, he finally managed to get a hold of him on their cell phone, and they said that they had run the car into a ditch. So I borrowed my sister's car and went looking for them. And when I found them, actually they had run off the road probably 50 feet, and the car was about 3 feet off the ground, stuck between 2 trees. And it was completely totaled.
Did you report it to your insurance company?
Yes, and I actually have a police report and pictures.
Okay, there's no question that she totaled the car. Mm-hmm. Is that right, Miss Chandler? There's no question that you totaled the car. Okay. Now you can tell me what happened with your insurance company.
Okay, the first thing we did was we filed it with her insurance. And her insurance said that in our state, insurance follows the car. Well, our insurance company was going to pay us for the car and then file for subrogation and get the money back from her or her insurance.
Correct.
But after several months of dealing with the insurance company and after they had already paid for the car, they found out that also, again, with the Georgia law, because she had permission to drive the car, our insurance company could not get money back from her, and we had to do it ourselves.
Right.
And our premiums have gone up, and the wreck is on our record. We can't even get written with another insurance policy.
Right. Your insurance company's absolutely right. So why are we here?
I just don't feel that it's right that she could take my car and, in a reckless manner, destroy it and just walk away from it and say,
I don't disagree.
Sorry about that.
I don't disagree with you. Ms. Barton, first let me hear from Ms. Chandler. What happened when you took the car for a test drive? Tell me about this ghost car that made you have an accident.
A van's a pretty big ghost car. It was a big white van.
Yes.
And it was coming around the corner too fast, and he was in my lane because he couldn't make it. He couldn't make the turn. And I went to the side of the road. The road was uneven. It caught the tire, spun me in the other lane, which was the failure to remain in lane. And then I oversteered and it went into the woods.
Nobody noticed any skid marks or anything else of another car.
They didn't stop. They kept going. They just came around the corner and just kept going.
How old are you?
20 years old.
You ever been in an accident before?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Barton, let me tell you what your problem is. You did give her permission to drive the car. You do not have any hard evidence that she was driving in a reckless manner. What?
The pictures will show that. The pictures.
I'll take a look at what
and
pictures
the police report says that she was on the wrong side of the road.
That may be. The police weren't there.
These are the pictures of what the damage to the car.
The police weren't there, Miss Barton. And the police took the report. Your car is totaled. I gather your car is totaled. I see your car is totaled. What does that have to do with anything?
Okay.
They totaled your car.
Yes, and she didn't apparently even hit the brakes. She just went off the road 50 feet and never even stopped.
Ms. Barton, do you think that she intentionally, with her and a passenger, almost killed herself?
No,
you think she intentionally did that?
I don't think she did it intentionally, no. But she was driving too fast. She was speeding.
She may have been driving too fast.
I didn't receive a speeding
And if you, listen to me.
It says too fast for
Ms. Barton, you have to listen to me, madam. And if she were driving too fast, and instead of just totaling your car, if she hit another car and killed somebody, you know who would be liable? You. When you give a stranger permission to drive your car, you assume the risk of how that stranger is going to operate your vehicle. And you had a choice, Miss Barton. I'm not excusing the fact that she may have been going too fast, that she may have been in another lane, that she may have negligently driven this car. I don't believe she recklessly drove it because she doesn't look like a nut and she doesn't look like she was trying to kill herself.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
You still do that kind of work?
Yes, I do.
It's a terrible idea.
It pays well.
The whole business smells.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rachel Barton says 20-year-old Stephanie Chandler totaled her Honda Prelude during a test drive. Rachel is alleging that Stephanie drove the car recklessly.
Okay, so the only out-of-pocket expense that you have now are the raised premiums, which is really what you're suing for.
And the deductible?
What was the deductible?
$500.
Well, that's a different story. That, I believe, Miss Chandler is responsible for.
Your Honor.
What?
I have the Kelly Blue Book value, and I have the amount that the Bartons received, and they received over $1,500 over the Kelly Blue Book value for their vehicle.
Let me see. Otherwise, you would be responsible for the $500 deductible. Wouldn't you say that that was fair?
We offered it in the beginning.
And then refused
did?
to pay when I called her and told her that our insurance was not going to cover that.
You received $7,097.55?
Yes.
Well, you just told me that you were going to sell the car for $6,500. So you got $600 more than that.
Yes.
Miss Barton, you have to accept responsibility that when you turn a car over to a stranger, you are placing yourself and your bank accounts and your property at risk. If she's in an accident, you are responsible, and your insurance company paid you because they knew you were responsible, and her insurance company didn't pay because she had permission to drive your car. And absent a showing that there was no issue, that she recklessly drove the car, which I don't believe you've been able to establish, you don't have a case, Miss Barton. And you got more for the car than what you were planning to sell for, so I'm not going to charge her for the deductible. I don't believe she's faultless, but I think that if she did offer to give you the $500 deductible, that was at least a showing that she felt as if she did the wrong thing, or that she was at least partially responsible, but that's what we have insurance for. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I really don't think it was fair that she was able to destroy my car and not have to pay 1 cent.
I oversteered trying to catch the car from where it dipped off the road.
She was totally responsible and got to walk away scot-free.
I thought I was going to kill my boyfriend.
I told her at the time I was glad there's no injuries. Neither one of them had a scratch on them, and I was glad for that. That would have just made it more complicated.
I was in love with that car. I thought I was taking it home that day.
It was a fast little car.
After all this, I don't feel bad at all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Monroe versus Monroe. Step forward, please.
29-year-old credit card marketer Stephanie Monroe is suing her ex-husband, Michael Monroe, for the return of promotional T-shirts and a digital camera belonging to her company. Stephanie says after she hired Michael, he quit his job and took the items with him.
Miss Monroe, the defendant is your former husband, and according to your complaint, after your divorce, he fell behind in his child support payments, so you decided to help him out by getting him a job with your company.
That's correct.
As part of the job, he was given a promotional kit, which included boxes of T-shirts and a camera. Job didn't work out. He was supposed to have returned the promotional items. He didn't do it, and you now are being charged for those items, and it's coming out of your pay. That's what you say.
That is correct.
Okay. When did you get him this job?
I offered him the job in August of 2003. And
What kind of job was it?
it's credit card marketing.
What does that mean?
We go out and market credit cards to students at colleges.
I don't understand how that works. You'll have to explain
Well,
that
we
to
go
me.
out to colleges and universities, and we market credit cards, and they sign up for them, and we get paid.
You get paid by the credit card company?
Yes, we do.
It's a terrible idea. Do you still do that kind of work?
Yes, I do.
It is a terrible idea, you know.
It pays well.
Well, it pays you well. Unfortunately, it gets most of the college kids in a great deal of trouble because they can't afford credit card and they build up debt, and by the time they graduate from college, very often they're in a situation where they owe $10,000 and their credit is shot and will be shot for years to come. So you go out to universities and you're given so much money for every teenager that you get to sign up for a credit card, right?
Well, they're not teenagers. They're over 18. Right.
No, 18 and 19, the teenagers.
Sure. Okay. Well.
Who are in school, who don't have any source of income other than their parents.
Okay.
Right. Most of them.
Yes.
And school loans.
Sure.
Good. Terrific. But that's not why we're here. We're here because as part of the whole thing, you give them T-shirts. What do the T-shirts say?
They just have different ones. They'll have college written on them. They're geared just towards what a college student might find attractive. It'll say.
Give me an idea.
Okay. Well, there'll be like a bottle, like it'll just say Absolute College. Just.
What else do they say?
They had one of Curious George with a bottle of ether.
Curious
Said
George
too
with a bottle of
curious.
ether.
Yeah.
What
like
is that?
Passed out. My friend doing the ether.
I don't make the T-shirts, Your Honor. I just. I don't.
What else? Curious George passing out, snorting a bottle of ether. What else?
They had one with. They had one with, I guess, from South Park, Kenny. It says "College Killed Kenny." I mean, there were some different, various T-shirts. So.
Okay, College Killed Kenny.
Yeah.
College students like that.
And there was a camera that was part of this.
Yes,
What was the camera used for?
The digital camera is to take pictures of their student IDs to verify they are students at the universities.
And you were a rep, I assume.
Right.
You work on commission.
Yes, I'm a manager in the company.
Okay. When did you start working?
I believe it was August
August
2002.
2003.
2003, I'm sorry.
Did he sign a document that he would return these promotional items?
Well, yes, for the camera, we do have a
Okay.
document.
So can I see the camera?
It's not the actual contract, but through our parent company, it states that he is liable.
Did he sign that?
There is no signature of his on this. They have the contract. They wrote out a statement saying he did sign a contract.
I never signed a contract.
They wouldn't provide me with the actual contract.
So the answer is you do not have a signed contract with his signature on it indicating he would return the camera.
I do not have that. No.
Okay. Let's not deal with the T-shirts because even according to you, the contract, if you had it, would not talk about the T-shirts.
That's correct. It was pretty much a verbal contract.
Pretty much a verbal contract isn't the contract, Ms. Monroe. So let's deal with the camera.
Okay.
Because Mr. Monroe says his excuse when he left the company, I don't know why, and I don't care, quite frankly. You say that the camera was stolen, so you acknowledge that you were supposed to have returned the camera.
Yes, I do.
So this is an easy case, because I like to keep things easy. Now, what is the cost of the camera?
The cost of the total camera was $485.
You have a receipt for it? Bill for it? Something?
I have this, Your Honor. It states how much it was. And that's from the company that came directly from. That's our parent company. It basically...
Well, this doesn't say anything. This says that the agreement states that Michael will be charged for the full amount of $485 if he fails to return the camera. You don't have the agreement. So this is hearsay. Take it back. What kind of camera was it, Mr. Monroe?
I don't recall the brand name. I think it was like Sony or something. It was
It was a digital
camera.
camera that
Sony.
took photographs of these ID cards.
Yes. that's
Okay, so
correct.
it might have been a good camera. Is that right?
It was used, but yeah.
All right. Now, tell me why you didn't return the camera when you left the company, because you acknowledge that you were supposed to have returned the camera, sir.
Right. I mean, she lives quite a distance from me, and basically I just never got the chance to return the camera, and it was stolen before I got the chance to return it
Stolen from where?
from my home.
Did you report it to the police? Can I see the police report?
No, I did not.
Full of baloney.
No.
And it's a very stupid thing to have said, because if something is stolen from your home, you mean somebody came into your home and stole just the digital camera?
Your Honor, I live with my brother and
Listen
was one
to
of
me.
his friends.
Someone came into your home and stole just the digital camera? Only that piece?
No, actually, they stole a couple other items, but it's my brother's
Really?
house, and he refused to press charges because he knew who the person was.
That doesn't mean that you can't press charges, sir.
True.
So I don't believe you.
That's fine.
Good. So then you are responsible for the camera. You didn't take good enough care of it. You didn't put it in a safe enough place. If it was in fact stolen, which I don't believe, but either way, you're responsible for it. Anything else you want to tell me?
Just basically, he was explained that he would be responsible for all the premiums that were fronted to him, plus the camera.
Who explained it to him?
Myself and also my fiancé, Jeremy.
I did as well, Your Honor.
Okay.
And he
well,
helped
what did-
explain the business to him, because he's my manager.
What'd you do with all the T-shirts? How many T-shirts did you have?
I don't know how many were actually left over. When I moved back to St. Louis, I left the T-shirts at my old apartment. Basically, I'd received a letter from the parent company stating that the shirts could not be used shortly after I started using them, about 3 weeks after I started using them. They said that they weren't actually approved to be used, so here I was stuck. You know, they expected me to pay for shirts that I couldn't use.
Why couldn't you use the shirts?
Because the credit card companies decided that they were putting up their own products, and we were no longer allowed to provide our own products for it.
Okay, so you weren't allowed to provide T-shirts,
Right. And
these kinds of T-shirts. What did you tell him to do with the T-shirts?
Actually, I said to Mike if he couldn't use them, just to ship them back, and he failed to do that.
What
He
did you
never
tell
asked
him?
me to- he
Because
never
your
asked
eyes,
me to ship
listen
them
to
back.
me.
Sorry.
What's your last name?
King.
Mr. King, your eyes faded over here when you
I'm
told
sorry.
me that you told him to just ship them back. Your eyes sort of went like this. You told him to ship them back to whom?
To us.
Your eyes moving, they're moving around again.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I told him to ship them back to us.
Just go back.
And did you tell him who was going to pay for that?
He would have to pay for that.
Why?
Because it's just how our company works. Is when we request something to be shipped to us, we're liable for that once we receive it.
Okay. So these were unauthorized T-shirts, is that right?
Correct, yeah.
And you're her boss?
Yes,
Yeah.
And you're an independent contractor?
correct.
So how are the T-shirts, I'm just curious, how are the cost of the T-shirts being deducted from your salary? Who's deducting them, him?
Actually, the owner of our company.
Who's the owner?
His name is Mr.
Baloney. I don't want to hear any of this. First of all, the whole business smells. I don't like when you try to put young people in a situation where their futures are placed at risk because of ensuring that they're going to graduate from college with lousy credit.
I understand, but I mean, I'm not asking them to use it and spend lots of money on their card, though.
What you're doing is you're going out and soliciting something. And you're dealing with young, impressionable, stupid kids who are in college, away from home for the first time, and if their parents wanted them to have a credit card, they would have given them a credit card. And if they don't have a credit card, there's a very good reason for it. And they're 18 years old, and they hardly have enough sense to get up in the morning. Many of them don't get up in the morning, but now they have a credit card where they're building up debt, and they have no way of paying it off. Now, having
should be
said that,
responsible, sure.
you have to pay her $200 for the camera. I don't know if it was worth $435. I doubt whether it was a new camera that you got, probably a used one from somebody else. But you acknowledge the fact that you were supposed to have returned the camera. I don't believe the fact that it was stolen. I think you're probably still using it, and you're just annoyed at this whole lawsuit. I don't know what you were supposed to do with the T-shirts.
There was
However,
also sunglasses. I'm sorry.
The T-shirts were not provided by the parent company. They were provided by the two of you, so I don't believe that from your salary is being deducted the cost of the T-shirts. Don't believe it.
But he was hired by my company, not our parent company.
What company? You have your own company?
No, I'm sorry. My boss's company. It's not my company.
Get it together. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Number 176 on the calendar in the matter of Gifford versus Ward. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. Gifford, the defendant is your daughter.
Correct.
And it is your claim that you made a loan to her. The loan was to pay off certain fines that she had, criminal fines, driving while under the influence of alcohol.
Correct, yes.
And she hasn't paid you back.
No, she has not.
Your daughter says that you volunteered to pay these fines for her, that at the time you paid the fines, you knew she was unable to pay you back, and there was never any agreement to reimburse you for the money that you spent for the fines. And that the real reason that you are here is because of a complaint that she filed against you with Child Protective Services, which resulted in you no longer having visitation with her child.
Correct.
Who is this?
My wife, ex-wife. We're together still.
This is your wife, your ex-wife?
Ex-wife, and we're still together, Your Honor.
Still together?
Yes.
Just my own curiosity. Why are you still together if it's your ex-wife?
Oh, her father passed away, and then I was one of the pallbearers, and at that point in time, we...
Sort of got back together again.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been married?
We were married for 7 years.
And how long have you been divorced?
A little over 2, and we've been back together now for another year.
Okay. Good. Who is this?
This is my boyfriend, Henry.
Is Henry the father of your child?
No, he is not.
Before we get into this, tell me about your child. You have one child, a boy?
Yes,
How old is he?
7,
Who does he live with?
with his father.
How long has he lived with his father?
He's lived with his father since October.
His father had full custody?
It's joint custody.
He lives with his father?
Well, yeah, he has full custody of him. But
He has full custody
Yes.
of him. Do you visit with him?
yes,
Supervised or unsupervised?
unsupervised.
When were you given unsupervised visitation?
The last court appearance in June?
Prior to June, you had supervised visits.
Correct.
And who supervised the visits?
My father was supervising the visits.
So that your son had visitation with his grandfather and you were permitted to see him at your father's house?
Yes.
Is your problem alcohol, drug addiction, a combination thereof, individual? What's the problem?
Yes, it was a combination of both.
And how long has your son been living full-time with his father?
Since October.
Prior to that, were you living together with his father?
No. We weren't together since I was pregnant. 7 years now we haven't been together.
Prior to October, you had full custody of him?
Yes.
Was he ever in foster care?
No.
Was he ever removed from your home?
No.
Did your father ever have custody of him?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Gifford, tell me about this loan.
Okay, this loan was regarding a DUI that she had back in 2000. She had a passenger in the car. She was under the influence of narcotics and alcohol. She hit a tree. CHP was dispatched. She went to jail. She called me up, and I said, best thing for her to do is stay in jail. She'll be arraigned, because I feel that due punishment should be served. Then at that long period of time, she was still involved with methamphetamines. Children were in and out of homes. We were paying
Which children?
That's just...
both Michael and Brittany.
I thought there was only one.
No.
Where is your daughter?
With me?
How old is Brittany?
4.
And she's always been with you?
I just got it back recently.
From where?
From her grandma, my ex-mother-in-law.
How long had she had custody?
She doesn't have custody.
9 months.
How long had she had custody?
She lived there since October, too.
Through CPS.
No, it was voluntarily.
Okay. So there were these fines dating back to 2002.
Correct.
Go ahead.
When she was going through detox and outreach program.
When was that?
That was in October. She was checked in. She was released to us in basically December because they did not offer the counseling or some of the amenities that were ordered by the courts. So they released her to myself and Sherry. At that point in time, I got her through counseling through the state where I work. Got her set up so I would be able to take her to and from her toxicology test and provide what she needed through the courts, and also supervise visitations. That way, both the brother and sister were able to see each other at that point in time because they were separated, and she would be able to spend time with her children.
Okay. Now get to the loan.
She approached me in November. She goes, Dad, I have a DUI that I have never paid on since 2000. Could you help me get my driver's license back and get back on my feet? I said, I expect to be paid back. So I went ahead, I paid them off. When I finally came back home, I went ahead and drafted up the exact amount she owes, stuck a payment plan together, and then she refused to pay me.
That's not
Now,
correct.
how much were the fines that you actually paid?
Total amount would be $2,469.
And what happened when you presented her with this loan agreement?
At that point in time, she said, I will pay you back $150. She went ahead and only paid $148 in cash.
When did she pay you the $148 in cash?
March of 2004.
And under what circumstances did she pay the $148 in March?
She came up to me and she says, Dad, I know I owe you the money. I want to pay you the $150. And then I counted out and I said, Katie, this is $148. She goes, I'll try to get the rest of the money to you later when I get paid again.
Okay.
That's
Go ahead, Ms.
correct.
Ward.
He made me make arrangement with the courts to start my DUI so I could start my classes. I told him I do not want him to come because I know he will try to attack me for something in the future. He said, no, I will take you there. We will get this settled so you can have a fresh start on your feet. We didn't speak the whole way there. We were in court. I was standing there talking to the judge, and he asked to stand up himself. The judge asked him who he was. He told him, he said, what is your reasons of being here? And he said, I'm here to pay off her fine. So the judge said, okay, gave us the receipt, went to the window,
Ms.
and
Ward,
paid it.
you had fines, correct?
Yes, correct.
What did you intend to do with the fines?
I was going to have a payment plan.
Good. With whom were you going to have a payment plan?
With the courts.
Over what period of time were you going to pay them?
I was going to pay it every month.
You were already late in paying the fines, right?
3 years.
Yes.
You were already late.
Yes.
So it was your intention to ask the judge to give you an opportunity, rather than sending you to jail, to start paying the fines off on a monthly basis.
Correct.
And what did you think was going to happen to you if, after not paying for 3 years, you made a plan with the judge and you said, don't put me in jail now. I'm going to pay you every month. And what do you think was going to happen if you didn't pay him?
I probably would have had a warrant for my arrest.
You would have gone back to jail.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You have Henry, and I assume you think Henry is going to be in your life for a while. And I'm suggesting to you, if you take a look over at Henry, in a very short period of time, you'll forget what he looks like.
And later today,
she hung up these shooting targets after Jose was unwelcomed into the house surrounding the living room area where I was sleeping.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kurt Gifford says his daughter, Catherine Ward, owes for an unpaid loan for DUI fines. Kirk says his daughter has problems with drugs and alcohol.
Miss Ward, what I'm asking you is if you intended to pay off your fines, which were your fines, why didn't you pay your father?
Because he told me not to worry about it.
No, that's not what he's saying at all.
Of course that's not what he's saying. He's mad at me for all this other stuff.
You gave him $148 in March of 2004.
Because he was kicking me out and he was mad at me over something, so I got a paycheck and he said, "You owe me money." I said, "Here, take my paycheck."
Miss Ward, what I'm asking you is, why didn't you start giving him back the money immediately, just as you were planning to do to the court? It's your fine, not his.
I agree.
Good. There you go. Now you're getting to be a grown-up. Now, why didn't you pay your father every month? Because he fronted the money.
Because he asked me to start with a clean start and get up on my feet. He told me to start doing everything right and stay straight.
Well, did you?
Yes, I have been.
Really?
Yes.
Where are you working?
I work at Home Depot.
And are you a full-time employee?
Yes, I am.
How long have you been a full-time employee?
Since March.
Good. And what does your boyfriend do?
He's a construction worker.
And do you live together?
Yes, we do.
So you have plenty of money to pay your fines?
Yes.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Regarding my grandson and my court visitation, basically that's pending due to the fact that I temporarily removed myself, but I'm still a joiner to the case in order for he can seek psychiatric counseling, because there is some trauma due to the fact that what's gone on with Katie, and that's why she brought it up, saying that I was upset because I definitely wanted to make sure both my granddaughter and my grandson do get the psychiatric counseling they do need from over the years of drug abuse.
That's not correct. There's not over years of drug abuse.
Of course it was.
No, there hasn't.
Of course it was. Of course it was. What do you think, it was 2 weeks? I mean, we've been around for a long time.
I understand that, but
we've been around for a long time.
It's not like
2
I've
weeks,
been doing
it's not
it for
3
years.
weeks, it's not 4 weeks, it's not 6 months, it's not a year.
It was 6 months of a period.
Oh.
She was pregnant while she was in rehab, while she was still under the influence of methamphetamine.
Listen, Miss Ward.
That's not correct.
Listen, Miss Ward, I'm glad that you seem to have gotten yourself back
Thank you.
on track. That's wonderful. And you have a job. You've had a job for a while. The boyfriend. You have children?
No.
Why did you have to think about that?
I have children, but they're not with me.
That's not what I asked you, sir. Over there. Your name?
My name's Henry. Henry Twilling.
Mr. Twilling, when I ask you if you have children, the answer is, I have children.
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 4.
Where do they live?
They live in South Dakota with their paternal relatives.
Where's their mother?
I haven't seen her for many years.
Why don't they live with you?
I'm just getting back on my feet.
From what?
Long period of drug use.
He has a parole officer. He was convicted and incarcerated in the penitentiary.
For?
For drugs.
And where did the two of you meet?
We met at a meeting.
Mr. Gifford, you understand that the Supreme Court recently issued a ruling that I don't agree with, not surprisingly. And that ruling said that grandparents have no right to visit with their grandchildren.
You're right.
You're aware of that?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that that ruling was short-sighted, because I think that sometimes you have to look on a case-by-case basis. And when you've had a grandparent that, and I don't know if that's true in your case, but when you have a grandparent who has been, let us say, a primary caretaker of children, it's unfair for a biological parent to say, well, I'm not going to let him see him anymore because I don't get along with him. Because very often you have parents like this whose primary thought is not the overall best interests of their children. Because Everything is a parent. Dogs have parents, cats have parents, fish have parents, ants have parents. Just because you're a parent doesn't necessarily mean you're a good parent or a caring parent. All I can tell you is this, Miss Ward. Do your two children have the same father?
No, they don't.
And this man isn't the father of either of your two children?
No.
And I assume that when you had a baby with your son's father, you intended for him to be in your life for a while. And I assume that when you had a child with your daughter's father, that you intended for him to be in your life for a while. And now you have Henry. And I assume you think Henry is going to be in your life for a while. And I'm suggesting to you, if you take a look over at Henry, in a very short period of time, you'll forget what he looks like. Now, I'm telling you that you have a responsibility to see to it that your two children have whatever constants in their life as possible. And if one of those constants in their lives have been their grandfather, you're not supposed to allow immature judgments to impede that and to impair that if it's not in your children's best interest. Do I make myself clear? Good. Yeah. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,321. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm still a joiner to the case to oversee that my grandchildren do get a fair shake in life.
There's always been strain.
I don't want them to be raised up in the same environment and have them in and out of jail.
He doesn't even have a relationship with his own mother, so...
I wish this on no one.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Andrews versus Zimmerman. Step forward, please.
Belly dancing instructor Hillary Andrews is suing her former roommate, yoga instructor Candy Zimmerman, for the return of her clothes and her shoes. Candy is countersuing for unpaid rent and a security deposit.
Miss Andrews, according to what I read, the defendant was a friend of yours. Came a time when you and your boyfriend were in some difficulty, and Miss Zimmerman offered you a place to stay. And then shortly after you moved in, she threw the boyfriend out. Is this the boyfriend? Mm-hmm. She threw the boyfriend out, and you left a couple of weeks after that. And it is your claim that she kept $2,000 worth of your property. Ms. Zimmerman says the only thing she has left of your property is some old shoes, and I assume that this is the visual aid today of the old shoes. And, I don't know, nothing else of any value.
A lamp.
A lamp. That's all she has of yours. She is counterclaiming. She says you owe her $2,500 for security deposit that you were supposed to put down on this room that you had, and also for rent when you were there. When did you move into her house?
On April 7th, 2004.
And how long did you stay?
Until May 5th, 2004.
And what property did you leave there?
Basically, it's a bunch of shoes, up to like 20 pairs of shoes.
Shoes are
Some
here.
of them are here. Some of them I don't see. There's another
shoes.
hanging item like that would hold more.
What else?
The lamp, which was like a $40 lamp, a full-length mirror, a broom. Also, when I moved in, I was supposed to get a room. I did not get a room. I had to stay in the living room on my own futon because the room I was promised was filled with boxes to the ceiling. I also wanted to mention that she hung up these shooting targets after Jose was unwelcomed into the house surrounding the living room area where I was sleeping for the rest of the day.
Okay, so she's not happy. She wasn't happy with you. Miss Andrews, why do you think that after she was so nice to you that she all of a sudden turned on you?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Well, maybe I should ask her. Why did you turn on her?
Basically...
Not basically. Just tell me why you turned.
She's a spoiled brat. I heard the way she spoke to her welfare caseworker, the way she spoke to her insurance agent. She humiliates people on the phone when she doesn't get her way. She treated me badly, told me how to cook in my own house, completely defended the boyfriend, saying, oh, it's not his fault he's mean, he's on cocaine. And, you know, it's unacceptable.
Now, as far as your counterclaim is concerned, I don't quite understand that, Miss Zimmerman, because you told me in your answer that you took Miss Andrews and her boyfriend in because they were going through hard times.
Yeah, she said...
Just a second.
Okay.
I don't care what she said. How was she supposed to give you $1,200 or $1,500 in a security deposit if she had hard times?
She said she couldn't afford it, but she could borrow money from her boyfriend and her father.
All right, so you know what security deposit is for?
For, like, if they trash your house, then you
But they didn't trash your house.
Yes, they did.
Oh, well, you didn't put anything about that in your answer about trashing the house.
They broke a window and supposedly cleaned the antique hood over my stove, etched scratches all over it.
Show me the bill where you paid to have those two things repaired.
I don't have a bill because I can't afford it.
So then.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. What else? So you don't get
she's-
security deposit?
Yes, ma'am. She's saying that she never agreed to pay rent, and I have evidence here. The only rent she ever paid me, a $50 check. So
Fine.
this is my evidence, is the check that she paid.
Can I see that, please? Your evidence for what?
That she agreed to pay rent, and she just said she didn't agree to pay any rent.
Well, here we have it that you cashed on May the 5th.
No, ma'am, I didn't cash it.
Oh, you didn't cash it?
No, ma'am.
Utilities, phone, and rent.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you should cash it.
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna now.
Good. Good, because it's all the money you're going to get. Give her shoes, please, Bird, okay?
Sure, no problem.
And don't trip over each other when you walk out. That's all. Thank you.
All right, you excused. You may step out. Be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
You have brothers and sisters?
I have a younger sister.
How old is she?
She's 26.
And how long ago did your parents divorce?
I was about 3 or 4 years old.
Mr. Foltz, this is your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And your complaint is that you gave your daughter $3,000 for her wedding.
Yes, ma'am.
And because of circumstances, you decided not to go to the wedding, and you want that money back.
Yes, ma'am.
And your daughter said that this $3,000 was an unconditional gift, and she's already spent it on deposits, etc., for the wedding. When is the wedding scheduled?
May of next year.
Now, how many children do you have, Mr. Foltz?
2 children, 2 stepchildren.
And how long have you been married to your second wife?
15 years.
And how old are those children?
21.
21
25.
and 25.
Okay. So let's get down to it. You called your dad.
Mm-hmm.
You told him you were planning a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
You asked him for some help.
I actually didn't ask him for help. He said to me that he felt it was only fair that he pay 50% and that my mother pay 50%.
Well, that was very nice of him. So you had a reasonable relationship with him if he said that to you, at least now?
Up until, yeah, until recently, yes.
I want to ask your mother some questions, okay?
Come on up, Mom.
What's your last name?
Bean.
Your daughter told you initially, after she had spoken to her father, and her father agreed to contribute to the wedding, that it was her intention of having both of you walk her down the aisle?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were not happy with that?
It was not a, I was okay with it. I was fine with it. I was just worried that his animosity may create some problems.
Did you convey that to your daughter?
I already knew that.
Just a minute. That's not what I asked.
Yes, I did.
I'm asking you these questions, Jennifer, because, you know, if you've been around the block as long as I have, and as many times, nothing is new under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting the following picture. When you spoke to your father, and he said to you, I really want to pay for half the wedding, and you told him that it was your intention to have your 2 parents walk you down the aisle,
Mm-hmm.
he was pleased about that.
No, he wasn't.
Well, he says he was.
He wasn't.
Well, you don't know that because you weren't on the phone with him. But then later you told him that it was your intention only to have your mother walk you down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's then that he became angry.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I want my money back. I'm not going to the wedding under those circumstances.
Can she tell you what happened after that?
Sure.
Tell her what happened after that. The planning.
Yeah, as my wedding planning progressed, my dad just kept making demands on me as far as he wanted his own table, he wanted it to be up front, he wanted to invite certain people, and he was just putting extra stress on me that I was already going through with the wedding.
Okay. Well, how many people were you planning on having at the wedding?
80, 100.
Well, then, wouldn't it be normal for him to have his own table?
I think he was under the impression that there would be my parents having their own table and my fiance's parents having their own table, and he wanted to make sure he wouldn't be sitting with my mother.
So, what's wrong with that?
There's a lot wrong with that.
No, there isn't. Jennifer. There's not a lot wrong with that. If you had two parents who really got along beautifully with each other and they had this lovely relationship that had developed over the years despite the fact that they were not together, then there wouldn't have been anything untoward about them sharing a table. But if you knew that they did not enjoy that kind of relationship, then you should have been smart enough to say, you have your table with your family. Of course, Dad.
Yeah,
you
I
have
did
your
say that.
If you have your table with your family, and Mom will have her table with her family, or maybe Mom will sit with, what's the boyfriend's name?
Doug.
Mom is going to sit with Doug's family, and you could sit with your family, 80 people. You're not going to all sit at one table. So I've just taken care of that problem. Now, what's the second problem that he raised?
He wanted to invite certain guests, and I wanted to have a smaller wedding. I didn't want strangers
Who did he
at my
want?
wedding.
Who did
Some close friends of his.
How many?
I think there were 2 of them.
That's reasonable, Jennifer.
Right, but if he wasn't even really involved in my life, why would he want to share that with other people?
Jennifer, you were willing to take his money, weren't you?
He offered
Just
it
a
to
second.
me.
You were willing to take his money,
Yes,
weren't you?
I was.
If you're willing to take his money, and if you said to him, and I want you and Mom to walk me down the aisle, and then you say, I changed my mind because he was making, according to you, unreasonable demands, I'm telling you, you're out of line. And I really wasn't prepared to go that way.
Listen, can I say something now?
Sure, you sure can.
I did not change my mind because I changed my mind because I'd always wanted it just to be my mom. It was my way of honoring my mom for raising me. I didn't do it to punish my dad. I didn't do it for anything other than to honor my mother. That's the only reason I made that decision.
Jennifer, my dear, then you shouldn't have told your father at the beginning, Dad, I want you and Mom to walk me down the aisle. You should not have told him that. Because what you're telling me now is, well, I told him that, but then he made these demands on me, which is what you said a moment ago.
It is what I said a moment ago.
Oh, yeah, he made these demands on me, which I now tell you, as a third party, totally unrelated to you, were totally appropriate requests from a person who really knows. Because although my husband and I have made many weddings, we have a mixed family.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what you're talking about. You're wrong.
Okay.
You're wrong, and you did the wrong thing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He said, I'm not looking
please.
forward to walking you down the aisle with your mother. And I said, why? And he goes, because we know how that turned out last time. And I said, Dad, you're not marrying my mother, you're giving me away.
And later today,
I never even knew that we were getting some kind of tax credit check.
I had called Kevin, asked him about it.
And what did he say?
How does he know that I didn't forge his signature?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arthur Foltz says his daughter Jennifer Foltz owes for money given towards her wedding. Arthur says Jennifer doesn't want him to walk her down the aisle.
Those two things that your father asked to have is a separate table, separate from your mother, and to invite two friends.
He also wanted his own limo. No.
Shh, just a second. Well, tell me about that.
He asked me if I was going to have a limo at the wedding, and I said, no, I don't need one. I'm just going to drive myself to the place, get ready there. Later on that evening, we got together for dinner, my father and I, and he said that he was going to have a limo for him and his friends.
So? He didn't ask you to pay for it, did he?
No, he didn't ask me to pay for it.
So?
But I just thought that was a little, odd. It's my wedding, but he wants to show up in the limo.
Who cares? Who cares if he comes in a bus? Who cares if he comes in a long bus, a short bus? It doesn't make any difference, Jennifer. You're picking on him. You're picking on him, honey. Life's too short.
It just bothers me that I didn't have much of a relationship with him when I was a child, and now he's trying to overtake the wedding and be a bigger part of the wedding than I feel he should be.
Jennifer, you're being a big baby.
I'm not being a big baby.
Yeah, you're being a big baby. And if you have bad feelings about your dad because he wasn't there for you when you were growing up, lots of children of divorce feel that way about their parents, especially when their parents remarry and have second family, right? That they're involved with, you know, that live with them. Their kids feel as if I didn't have the benefit of really a full-time or even a part-time great parent. It's never too late.
I don't feel as if it's too late.
Well, you shouldn't feel as if it's too late. And it's a shame if your father doesn't go to the wedding. It's a shame if you have a wedding that doesn't include your father and his wife and your mother. Are you remarried?
No.
And whoever she wants to bring, if she wants to bring anybody, and everybody else who's part of your life. It's a shame that you don't have that moment. You will, listen to me, you will always regret it. Because, you know why, Jennifer? You'll always look at that book of pictures and there'll be a bad feeling that he wasn't there.
You know what, though? When I told him that I wanted just my mom to walk him down the aisle, he said to me that I want nothing to do with your wedding. He took himself out of the wedding. I can understand he's hurt. I'm sure he's hurt. But if he doesn't go to my wedding, it's on his terms, not mine.
No, Jennifer, you're wrong. You're being young. You're being young. I disagree with him if what he chooses to do is to not go to the wedding. But I'm telling you, you're not a baby. You're a big girl.
I am a big girl.
And your mother should be a big person. And your mother should say, usually, if one parent walks a child down the aisle, it's usually their father, not their mother, unless their father's dead. And in this case, if you want to be a big person, and you want to be a big person, you say, for that 30 seconds that it takes to walk down the aisle, let's walk our daughter, our firstborn, down the aisle together and give her away, and then there'll be a picture of her family at her wedding. Because, you know, what can happen is 10 years from now, when you and Doug have 2 kids, and you and your father have hopefully reconciled, your children will say to you, where's Poppy's picture at your wedding? And if you have not reconciled, then what you're doing is you're depriving your children of the widest possible community of love and affection.
I wouldn't be the one that would deprive them of that, though. He would be the one that would not make the effort.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arthur Foltz says his daughter Jennifer Foltz owes for money given towards her wedding. Arthur says Jennifer doesn't want him to walk her down the aisle.
Jennifer, you hurt him.
I know.
You hurt him.
I understand that.
You hurt him. He's supposed to be bigger than that. Your mother is supposed to be bigger than that.
I didn't do a thing.
Well, you did, Miss Bean.
Yeah, exactly.
You did, because you said to your daughter, and you acknowledged that you said to your daughter, I hope he can get over certain things, and I hope he's not going to be hostile. And
in response to his hostility when
What?
she told him that we were going to do it together.
Madam, I'm talking about before you got there. Before you got to the point where she said, I changed my mind, Dad. Only Mom is walking me down the aisle. Then he got hostile.
He was
Fine.
hostile before I changed my
He
mind.
was hostile from the beginning.
He said, I'm
Oh,
not looking
please.
forward to walking you down the aisle with your mother. And I said, why? And he goes, because we know how that turned out last time. And I said, Dad, you're not marrying my mother. You're giving me away.
Is that true, sir?
No, ma'am.
I mean, I don't understand how that could be true if he said to you, I want to pay for half the wedding. In the same conversation, when he said to you, I want to pay for half the wedding, and you're telling me now that his conversation was hostile?
Yes.
I don't believe you. Listen, Mr. Foltz, I can see I'm not getting anywhere. I've made my best effort, sir. You gave your daughter $3,000 for the wedding. It was a no-strings gift. I hope you go to the wedding, and Jennifer, I think if you want to grow up to be a big person and your mother wants to be the loving mother that she is, you will decide that it's the right thing that both your parents walk you down the aisle. You still have plenty of time to do that and to make up so that you don't end up looking at that wedding album 20 years from now and saying it was really a sad day. Mr. Foltz?
Your Honor.
Say nothing. Say nothing. You made your daughter a $3,000 contribution towards her wedding. I hope she does the right thing with it.
I
That's
do
all.
have things
Case
to say,
over.
Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I think we're still both very hurt and angry, and I think that neither one of us really wants to take the step towards mending our relationship.
25 years ago, I tried to make amends to my ex-husband for the trouble that I caused in our divorce.
Her statement that I didn't raise her, and that's, you know, it's very hurtful to me.
25 years is a long time to hold a grudge, but I don't want to see anything between him and my daughter get worse and divide them forever.
My heart tells me that I love her, but I just don't think it's being reciprocated.
You know, my wedding's supposed to be a happy time, and it's turning out to be not quite so happy.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Martin versus Martin. Step forward.
26-year-old insurance sales assistant Karen Martin is suing her ex-husband, home improvement salesman Kevin Martin, for stealing her share of a tax refund. Karen claims Kevin forged her signature on the check.
Ms. Martin, the defendant is your former husband. It is your claim that there was a government refund check in the amount of $400 that was issued to both of you. It is your claim that Mr. Martin forged your signature to that check, cashed that check, and you want your $200.
Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Martin says there was no check that he received. He did not forge your name to any check, and he, quite frankly, doesn't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So let us assume for a moment that a refund check was sent to Mr. and Mrs. Martin. So your obligation now, Miss Martin, is to establish that he forged your name to that check.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you.
Okay. I do have a copy of the check where it's signed by him, and that is not my signature.
Okay.
I do have other...
Okay, let me see it.
Okay.
Mr. Martin, the Family Service Center, you familiar with that institution?
Yes, I am.
Tell me about that institution, sir.
It's a credit union that we had, as we were married, had an account there.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to tell... clearly, this check was sent to the two of you, and clearly it was endorsed by two people.
I never knew anything about the check. I never even knew that we were getting some kind of tax credit check.
How did you find out about the check, Miss Martin?
My cousin had received hers, and she had asked me if I got anything on it, and I...
These were the checks that were $400 that were issued to families by President Bush, is that right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. It was $400 per child, and she had received hers and asked me if I received mine, and I said, no, I didn't. And I had called Kevin, asked him about it.
And what did he say?
He said, he had still said, I have no idea what you're talking about. How do you... Actually, he said, how do you know that I... Or how does he know that I didn't forge his signature?
So, Mr. Martin, what I'm asking you is that the conversation you had? How do I know you didn't forge my signature? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the answer. The answer is you weren't calling her to complain that you didn't get your $200, right?
I never knew.
Now listen to me.
Okay.
You weren't calling her, Mr. Martin, to complain that you didn't get your $200.
No.
Because according to you, you didn't know about it. So why would she call you to complain? Listen to me. Call you to complain. If she had forged your signature to the check so that she got the entire $400 and you weren't calling her to complain about it, you get my drift, sir?
I understand what you're saying.
Old story. If it doesn't make sense, it's usually not true. And if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So somebody from your credit union cashed this... I'm speaking. Somebody from your credit union cashed this check with a signature that I have compared with the signature on your answer and with a signature that I have compared with the signature on Miss Martin's complaint. And while that's not necessarily dispositive of who forged whose signature, the signature on this check, your signature on this check, is eerily similar to your signature on the answer, while her signature on the check is no way similar to her signature on her complaint. So I put those facts together, and you know what I came up with? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $200. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Listen.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Watt, can you tell me how long the defendant was your boyfriend before he asked you for money?
Approximately 3 months or so.
And what did he tell you he needed the money for?
He didn't really say. He needed it for various things. He said one of the things he used money for was to pay his grandmother, who he lives with. And he just said that he needed money.
And what did you say?
I told him that since he had just gotten a checking account, I told him if he wrote me a check, I could deposit it and withdraw it immediately and give him the cash.
You had an ATM card?
Yes.
And did you do that?
I did.
When was the first withdrawal that you made?
The first withdrawal was on November 4th.
You have your bank statement?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please?
Sure. I also have the canceled checks.
I'd like to see those two. First one was November 4th, 2000. And how much did you take out then?
The first one was $100, and a little while after, he said he needed more on the same date, so he gave me another check for $100.
Okay. And then I see there's another check here the next day.
Right.
$300.
Yes, he decided he needed more money for whatever, various things, and he asked me to do it again, and he assured me that his bank would cover it no matter what. So I did him that favor again.
Was he working at the time?
I believe he was.
Do you remember where he was working?
At a grocery store.
Did he ever give you the money back?
No, he didn't. He promised me that he would pay me back after I informed him that the checks came back canceled. But then the relationship started getting bad. He started getting verbally abusive and controlling, and we were heading towards a breakup, and he told me because he was getting aggravated with me, he wasn't giving me my money back ever.
You also say he has a jacket of yours.
Yes, he borrowed it and took it to Maryland to visit his mother and left it there and never gave it back to me. He said he would do everything he could to get it back, and he hasn't.
Go.
As far as the jacket, we traded jackets. I did leave the jacket in Maryland.
What do you mean you traded jackets?
We traded jackets. I had a South Pole jacket, and she liked it. She wanted to wear it, and I said, well, it was in the beginning of the relationship, so I said, well, if you give me your jacket, then we can trade.
Did she give you back the jacket that you were wearing that was hers?
No, she burned it with a cigarette.
Is that right?
Your Honor, I don't smoke.
Where is his jacket?
It's at my house. I told him he would get his jacket back when I get mine back. I had his jacket dry cleaned for him and everything because it was in dirty condition when I got it.
Your Honor, I was smoking a cigarette, and she had hated it when I smoked. So she took the cigarette and tried to put it out on the bureau, but I yelled at her, and she didn't say anything, but she just turned and put it out on the sleeve of the jacket.
Well, why don't you give her back her jacket?
Because she hasn't reimbursed me or returned my jacket. Also, I have attempted to get the jacket back into Massachusetts. My mother is handicapped now. She doesn't have the means to get to a post office to send it out or anything. She's been waiting for the time when my sister goes out there to visit to mail it back.
All right, we'll take care of the jacket. Now let's get to the money.
As far as the checks, I did write her the checks, of course.
Try looking at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because I want to see you looking at me when you tell me the story.
Okay. I wrote her the checks because she had an enormous debt in credit cards, and she was falling behind, and she asked me if she could borrow some money. So I wrote her the checks eventually because she kept hounding me, and I didn't have any money at the time. She didn't believe that I didn't have any money in the account, and also I have a ATM card. I have it with me. I have an ATM card that has a credit card logo on it, and she was convinced that it would just charge to my account. If I had written the checks and they bounced, it would just charge to my account, and she'd get the money, and we'd just pay it back later.
Your Honor, that's a lie.
Just a minute. So far, I'm not getting the whole story, sir. Come on.
You know, she deposited the checks, and it takes a few days to post to the account, to clear through the bank and everything. She immediately withdrew the money, bought some money orders, sent them out to her credit card companies, and then a few days later, the bank realized that they were bound. There was no money to cover the checks, so they withdrew the money from the account.
Let me put this in shorthand. You say that you wrote out these checks to her knowing that you had no money in your account. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a crime. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know it before I just told you?
Yeah. I just wanted her off my back.
So in order to help her, you wrote her a series of bad checks. That's what you're telling me.
I wrote her the checks because she had been hounding me for almost a week.
Hounding. So you wrote her a series of bad checks to pay her credit card.
Right.
Is that true?
That is not at all true. When we went to the ATM together, he wrote the checks in the car. We drove to the ATM, and I took the money out of the ATM machine, and it passed from my hands to his, and I never saw it again.
Right, because that's the same date as the withdrawals, dates that you wrote the checks, right?
Yeah.
So what I have to do is now choose which story sounds more reasonable. Now, I could do that by doing those the way we used to choose, you know? Or I can just muster all of my judicial skills, all of my common sense experience, and say that your story sounds a little fishy to me. And if it doesn't make sense, it's not true. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Now that I have disposed of the $500 that you owe her. You are countersuing her for thousands of dollars because you say she harassed you at your job. You were working at a grocery store?
Yes, ma'am.
Costing you thousands of dollars in lost wages.
No, it was $1,000 lost wages.
And what was the other $2,000 for?
Things that she had charged from my credit card.
So let's get to the harassment first. So you're saying that she was harassing you at the grocery store you were working while you were dating?
Yes.
So get over it. If you're still dating, evidently you didn't find that too much of a harassment.
No, I was trying to convince her not to come down so often. And not
So after you tried to convince her not to come down too often and she came down, you still went out to dinner, went to the movies, did whatever you wanted to do. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So forget it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Heather Watts says ex-fiancé John Sanderson deposited bad checks into her account and then withdrew the money.
What she charged on your credit cards?
A sweatshirt, a couple of remote control cars. For her nephews for Christmas, she needed to borrow money.
Did you ever charge anything on his credit card?
No, he bought me a sweatshirt and he bought me a Walkman, and they were both gifts offered by him.
Right here.
Let me see.
One of my receipts, one of my statements.
Do you have
I
other
actually,
statements?
Filed for
do you have other statements?
Other statements? Yes, I do.
Well, other statements that you wanted me to look at. Okay, you have here written actual amount for a Walkman, $102.
Yeah.
And general merchandise, $83.97.
Yes.
She says you gave her this Walkman as a gift.
No. Her Walkman
Your Honor,
that she had.
I had a very good Walkman. It was practically in brand new shape, and I gave him that, and he bought me a new Walkman. So the Walkman I gave him was practically brand new. So it was almost like a trade-off, and it was a gift from him.
The Walkman that she had previously.
Yes.
It wasn't working well, and she wanted a new one, and I said, all right, let's go to Radio Shack and get one.
Oh, fine. So you bought her a Walkman. Perfect. And actual amount for radio-controlled car for her nephew,
Yes.
$83.97. What is that?
I don't know. I know he bought himself a radio-controlled car. He brought it to my job and to my house.
I bought myself one also.
Get out of here.
No.
Mr. Sanderson, Mr. Sanderson, let me tell you something, sir. You're a really good fibber.
But I really did get her that
Really,
car.
really?
Really.
Just like you really wrote these bad checks, right?
Yes.
Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Your counterclaim is dismissed. I don't know if you're ever going to get your jacket back. Do you understand?
Yes.
So we're his. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She totally reversed everything, turned everything I said into a lie.
I just think Judge Judy's a great lady, and she did a good job.
And now the next case.
All parties on Green versus Comer. Step forward, please.
24-year-old cocktail waitress Amanda Breen is suing her former friend and roommate, 26-year-old cosmetologist Tennille Comer, for unpaid rent and bills. Amanda says when Tennille began dating her ex-fiancé, she asked her to move.
Briefly, Miss Breen, according to what I've read in your complaint, you and the defendants were friends and roommates. You were engaged when you moved in together or when you were living together. That engagement terminated.
Yes.
Then there came a time that your friend and roommate started to date your former fiancé.
Yes.
That created a certain amount of friction.
Yes.
And you decided ultimately to give her a choice.
Yes.
Either she moved or you were going to move.
That's right.
She moved, you claim, owing you some rent and other assorted bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, when did you give her this ultimatum?
It was October of 2000.
And how did you communicate that with her?
There was a letter that I wrote to her. I spent 3 days compiling a letter letting her know how I felt about the situation.
Do you have the copy of that letter?
No, I did not take
Do
a
you
copy
have
of
a
it,
copy?
unfortunately.
May I see it, please?
Sure. On page 4, it's highlighted where she states that if I move out, she cut her losses, I pay nothing.
Oh,
No,
what's her
it says,
pay?
Shh.
it says that if I move out.
Just a minute. When did you ultimately move out of the apartment?
Middle of November.
Did you pay November's rent?
No, I did not.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I may shed some light into that.
I didn't ask you a question yet.
Okay.
Amanda told me that if I would move out, I would pay nothing. She also told me that if I would move out, her mom would pay my half of the rent until she found a new roommate. In the letter, she states that if I move out, she cuts her losses, I pay nothing.
No, that's not what it said. She says, I'll cut my losses. So you stayed until mid-November.
She actually
Now-
was there until the 27th of November. Was the last day she moved her stuff out.
Is that right? The 27th of November?
No, it was the middle of November, Your Honor.
What?
That's a lie because
Don't say lie.
I was at Amanda's house.
I assume you're her mother.
I am, and I was at Amanda's house the day that Tennille signed off on the lease, and she looked right at me and said, I signed off on this lease. I owe this money. Amanda's not going to get stuck paying it no matter what. I was there to make sure that she didn't take things of Amanda, help Amanda move things into her bedroom and lock it up because Tennille was taking things from her. And she called her father while she was there and said, Daddy, I don't have to move out today.
It doesn't make any difference. She was there past the 1st of the month.
Exactly.
She's there past the 1st of the month, and this way, well into the month, it seems to me she has to pay rent. Now, you said something very respectfully you want to contribute, so I'll let you stand up here. You are former fiancé, current boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, your name?
My name is Brian Hansen.
So what do you know?
I received a phone call in November from Amanda stating that if I would get Tennille out of the apartment, that the rent would be waived.
No phone call.
And
Never happened.
all bills, everything owed, it would be waived.
So she made this arrangement with you,
Yes.
but she had no such conversation with the defendant.
Yes, she did.
When?
November 10th. No. On November 10th, she sat in my living room and
No,
told me she knew it was her obligation to pay the
I
money.
don't understand that. Why would she have a discussion with you waiving the rent for November when you were still living there in November and you were planning to move?
Because she wanted me out of the apartment.
You wanted to be out of the apartment, I assume.
No.
She chose to move out. I did choose.
Now you can sit down because I wasn't addressing you.
I did choose to move out. It was a hostile environment. I don't know.
Right. Nobody wants to live in a hostile environment. And you have to pay rent. November. How much was the whole rent?
The whole rent was $745. There was a late fee that I was charged because her half was not paid, and the total that I had to pay to keep my apartment was $398.
For her half?
For her half.
Okay.
Correct.
Was there ever a discussion, Ms. Comer, that you did in fact owe certain monies for past bills?
Yes.
She outlines a couple of things here. Still owe me $192.49.
That was grocery shopping, stuff for redecorating the apartment, trips to Costco for household items that I had receipts stapled together on the fridge, and she went through them in June and left me this note with how much she owed me.
Let me see.
In her handwriting.
Okay. Because that will make it easier. Otherwise, I would tell you just forget about it.
And that's the only proof I have left of it, was the note she left me in her handwriting.
Okay. Did you pay her any money towards this account after June 13th?
I'm looking for that. No, I paid $170.36 on 5/25.
No, 5/25. I said after 6/13.
No.
Your Honor, may I approach?
No.
I just don't understand why she would write me this letter saying that these bills are wiped away.
Well, I read the letter very briefly, Ms. Comer, that said how hurt she was that as a friend and a roommate, you chose to enter a relationship with her former fiancé within weeks of their breaking up, and she was very, very hurt. And let's quote exactly what she says. If you give me the money you owe me, I'll move out. I'll cut my losses, pay you nothing, and you get all your expletive deleted out of my apartment ASAP. And if you don't have your stuff out by November 30th, I have plenty of people who will want to come over here and help me get rid of you. I refuse to live with someone I can't trust, and trusting you is a joke. So if you're asking me why she might have said something that you interpret as, I'll forgive all the money that you owe me, she did it because she was clearly angry and hurt. Ms. Breen, on the flip side.
Yes.
Better now than later.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Affairs of the heart are a very, very difficult thing. I'll tell you that I don't believe that these two people decided to hurt you intentionally by entering into a relationship together.
Right.
I don't think that that's how it started. I absolutely understand the nature of your letter, but you have to understand that they're probably not bad people. They just got caught up in a relationship, and somebody had to get hurt. But I don't think the design of it was to hurt you.
No.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay. Does she owe you any other big bills?
The phone bill came up to $173.13 total. Half of that was $86.57. I have the bills here showing.
Show them to her.
I have the bills here showing exactly how much is due. Statement ending November 28th, which she moved out November 30th.
Very
So
good. She clearly
it is
doesn't
still
like
her
handwriting. Would you
responsibility.
take care of that, Julie?
No problem.
And sorry. And in order for the phone to not be disconnected, I eventually did have to pay the entire
Okay.
amount.
Pay attention.
Okay.
Those are for June, July, August, September, October, until November 28th. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay. What else? Did you pay this bill?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. What else?
$108.52 for the PUD. And
What is
then-
that?
That's our power, our electricity.
Show it to her, please.
June through November, the total owed was $217. What does it say? 03, and I divided that in half. Half of it owed by her.
Any question about this bill?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. $774.
$774. That's very close to what I came up with as well.
Move on.
Move on.
Good.
Definitely.
Good luck. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $774. That's all.
Parties are
Thank you.
excused. You may step out.
When we
Now this is case number 479 on the calendar in the matter of Baker versus Taggart. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Baker, you and the defendants are neighbors,
Yes, we are.
and I assume that your backyards abut each other's,
Yes, they do.
and these are two private homes.
2 private homes, 2 separate communities within a master development.
According to your complaint, the Taggarts like fireworks, and they use them to celebrate a variety of events. And they have both damaged your property, according to your complaint, and in addition, according to you, have caused your wife a certain amount of trauma. I see your wife is not present.
Yes.
All right, so let's start with the first incident that you talk about, which took place in 1999.
Your Honor, may I provide you with a photo to follow the story?
Yes, that's always helpful. Go ahead, sir.
On January 23rd, which was a Saturday, late in the evening, I happened to be in one part of the home, and my wife was at the dinette area, when all of a sudden there were large or very loud explosions. She proceeded to go out to the patio where that pool rail is. When she reached the rail, this particular rocket came down through the screen and exploded within 2 to 3 feet from her where she was standing. She proceeded to protect her eyes.
You're talking about through one of these screens?
Through the ceiling above her.
The ceiling
Yes.
of over the pool.
Yes, Your Honor, and I have a picture of that. There's the picture of the hole, and here's the picture of the rocket in the pool that was taken the following morning.
So what did you do, sir?
Well, by the time I got to the door going out to the patio, needless to say, seeing her basically just covered with sparks, she panicked in sheer terror, proceeded to run out to the wall, and began to yell over the wall, probably screaming to the Taggarts to please, you know, you're damaging my property and things of that nature. About that time, a barrage went off, additional rockets, and she hid or took shelter underneath that decorative tree. I proceeded to go out and shield her and bring her back into the house. We then called the sheriff's department.
What happened when the sheriff's department arrived?
The sheriff came out, observed the fireworks, the damage. He was able to observe the party taking place.
The party was still ongoing.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He left my home. I had to escort him over to Mr. Taggart's home to show him where the party was taking place at.
Mr. Taggart, do you remember a police officer arriving in your home on the 23rd of January?
I wasn't present at that time. My wife was.
What kind of a party were you having?
It was my husband's 35th birthday party.
So where was he?
He had gone across the street to get some additional food and things for the party.
Okay, so he just wasn't there at that moment?
At that moment, yes, correct.
And you had a discussion with the sheriff?
Yes, I did.
And he told you that there had been a complaint?
Correct.
So what did you do?
Well, the sheriff had come to the door and said that the fireworks had been letting off sparks, and that the sparks had done some damage to the pool area and had frightened the wife, and asked us to stop the fireworks, at which we did at that time. He also asked us to contact Mr. Baker to make arrangements and to discuss the incident that had happened.
So did you do that?
When my husband returned, I told him the time I was tending to the party, so I was not back where the fireworks...
So did you do that, Mr. Taggart? Did you
Yes,
Call the
I
Bakers.
did. I called Mr. Baker and discussed it with him, and at that time he had told me that his wife was cowered on the ground getting showered with sparks. I felt that that was heavily exaggerated. The fireworks that I have, Your Honor, they're not bottle rockets. They're big, it's hard to explain. I wish I'd have brought one, but they shoot 200 to 300 feet up in the air. They're cakes, is what they're called, 25 shot. And the
Did he tell you that damage had been caused as a result of one of these things?
He said that there was damage to his screen. He didn't
Did you make
indicate
arrangements
exactly.
to go over and look at it?
Not at that time. After I spoke to him, he seemed to have been rallying his neighbors. He said his neighbors have some complaints as well, and their screens got damaged. And another time, he came to my house, another 4th of July. The only other time...
All right, let's go to the next instance because we haven't gotten there yet. So the answer is there was never any payment made for the initial damage in 1999. Is that correct, Mr. Baker?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, let's move to the next instance.
In the following January, New Year's 2000, there was a gala fireworks display. That evening, the winds were fairly calm, and whatever debris that was being shot off was going somewhere else within our community or his community. There was no damage to my property as a result of his fireworks display.
But he did, in fact, have a fireworks display.
Absolutely.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
On July 14th, I happened to be in my home, and again, Mr. Taggart is setting off fireworks. In this case, they were the rockets of this type, and they were going over my yard, and I personally, just from pure anger and frustration, drove over and confronted him at his front door with some of his friends from his party, asking him to please either shut it down or move his fireworks to the front of his property, shoot over his neighbors and not over my property. I turned around and rather than having more of a confrontation, I proceeded to leave, got back to my home. There was a series of other rockets go off shortly after. My wife says, obviously, he's not listening to you. And he did subsequently move the fireworks to the front of his home. The next incident, Your Honor.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
When he did come over to my house, he was upset, and he did threaten me to some extent that he was going to get me and I was going to pay for this in some manner. I respected his wishes, however, I did move the fireworks to the front. However, all the neighbors in my neighborhood, they don't have a problem. There's 8 feet between each house from my house to the neighbors on either side.
He has a problem.
I realize that. But I
He has
feel
a
that
problem.
I was singled out in this instance because the fireworks that I have aren't bottle rockets and things of that nature. They're
Somebody was shooting those off from your yard, sir. Maybe some of your guests, because they know that you have fireworks, and maybe they brought some of their own. That's a possibility, isn't it, Mr. Taggart?
I guess.
Yeah, you guess.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donald Baker is accusing his neighbors, Mark and Deborah Taggart, of ignoring his request to stop their use of fireworks. Donald says the Taggarts have caused damage to his property and undue stress to his wife.
Go ahead. When was the next instance, sir?
New Year's this year. When I got up in the morning on Monday, I initiated a sheriff's report. I took photographs of the residue from his fireworks. And, Your Honor, he mentions something other than bottle rockets. My understanding is in the industry they called mortars. They are very large balls filled with black powder that you need a tube or a cannon or a pipe to shoot them out of. And this is the debris that came off of my roof and also my patio.
Did you have a party New Year's Eve?
Yes, ma'am.
And you did have some fireworks?
Yes. Now, the fireworks, that debris is eventually going to come down. However, it's not lit when it comes down. I mean, these shoot 300 feet in the air. Well before they hit any houses or the ground, they're out.
Was that the last instance, Mr. Baker?
That is the last incident, and that is what drove me to take this to a court. I have attempted, I've exhausted every means available to me to settle this in a neighborly fashion.
Okay. Mr. Taggart, every judge brings to the bench with them a certain amount of life experience. You and your wife look like nice people. I don't think that you're bad people. I think, however, that you are not a considerate neighbor. Even though your neighbors may not have a problem with your fireworks, Clearly, one of your neighbors does. I'll tell you that when I was pregnant with my first child, I was living in a row house development. And one of the neighbors on the 4th of July decided to have some fireworks. Excuse me. It was my second child because it was Adam. Because he was born in August, and I was very pregnant. And fireworks went off and came sailing over into our little backyard. And I remember hitting the ground over a little stool that was there out of fear, because you have a certain amount of fear. If you're not in charge of those fireworks, Mr. Taggart, if you don't have control over them, there's a fear that you have. You hear something whizzing in the air. You hear something exploding. There is a certain amount of debris. You say it's not lit by the time it hits something, but when you see it coming down at you, you don't have a little voice inside saying to you, that's not going to be lit by the time it hits my hair. And I recall so vividly being concerned for the remainder of my pregnancy that I had caused some kind of damage to this baby when I hit the ground hard because of somebody else's idea of a good time. And I will tell you that my husband at that time, if he could have, if I would have let his collar go, would have gone over to that neighbor's house and ripped out his heart through his nostrils. And I would have been there cheering, because this guy just did not care. He said, you know, nobody was hurt. I mean, the fact that she overreacted by hitting the ground, that's not my fault, which was basically his response. She overreacted, which is really what you're saying to me. So if she's cowering over in the corner and being frightened, that's not your fault. It's because there's something wrong with her. The debris would not have caused their house to go on fire because by the time it gets down, it's not lit anymore. You can celebrate the 4th of July without fireworks in your backyard. So if you have a neighbor that's had a problem, and if you've been advised 2 years ago that there was damage done to property, and that he was in fear, and he's not a nut. He's not a nut. He says, I want to be able to enjoy my 4th of July too. Maybe I want to go in the backyard and have a barbecue. I don't have to have my friends and relatives walking around with hats and umbrellas because you want to shoot off fireworks. He's not wrong. Do I look like I need help from you?
No, Your Honor.
So, if your neighbor has complained for 2 years that it's stressful to have you firing off this stuff, then you take your party elsewhere. Or you have your party without it. Now, can I see a bill, sir, for the damage to your property? You think there's anything wrong with Adam as a result of my falling to the ground?
Adam is okay.
Bird knows Adam from the time he was, what,
There's the
6 or
original
7.
bill.
He is okay.
He's perfect.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
He's a cute
I was trying to help Adam out.
All right, the total damage from both incidents is $940. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
You're too old for fireworks anyway, Mr. Taggart. You understand? It's a kid thing to do. In the state where I live, they're illegal. You can't sell them, you can't buy them, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is fireworks are dangerous. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm entering a judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $940, and I strongly urge you, you're nice people, find another way to play. That's all.
Okay.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'd like to think that I can look forward to a very peaceful New Year's and 4th of July hereafter.
Oh, yes, fireworks are going to be tuned down a bit.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Evans versus Esquin, step forward, please.
30-year-old Dion Evans is suing his ex-girlfriend, 21-year-old receptionist Elizabeth Esquin, for the value of a Chevy Beretta. Elizabeth says the car is in her name.
Mr. Evans, you and the defendant lived together for about 2 years, according to your complaint. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you start living together?
In December of 1999.
According to your complaint, during the time that you lived together, you purchased 2 cars. You put both cars in the defendant's name.
Yes, ma'am.
When you broke up, you say she took one of the cars. She took the Beretta.
Right.
And you want that car back or the value of that car.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that her parents had given her a car, and her parents disapproved of you, so when she went to live with you, they took back the car. She had no means of transportation, and you provided the transportation. There was never any agreement to return this car. So, Mr. Evans, I have a couple of questions for you. Is it correct that when you met Miss Evans, she was driving a Nissan?
Yes.
And when you decided to live together, Mr. Evans, did the defendant tell you that her parents were going to take back the car?
No.
Did she ever tell you that her parents were taking back the car?
No.
What did you say to her with regard to having a car for transportation?
Well, being that I felt responsible, you know what I'm saying? That the
Felt
car,
responsible for what?
for the car getting taken because her parents didn't like me.
That's what I just said. You just said you didn't know anything about it.
Okay.
You got my drift.
Right.
Being that you felt responsible because her parents took back the car, what did you say to her?
I told her that one day I would help her get a car.
Good. And she said, okay.
Right.
And what car did you help get her first time?
I haven't helped her purchase a car yet. The cars I purchased it by myself. She has never been with me when I purchased any of my cars.
She shouldn't have to be with you. When did you buy the Beretta?
On June the 21st of 2000.
So about 5 or 6 months after she moved in. Is that right?
Right.
And when you bought the Beretta, sir, who drove the Beretta?
Majority of the time, she did.
And what car did you buy for yourself?
I bought a Chevy Cavalier and a Chevy Beretta.
Now the Beretta, you say she wasn't with you when you purchased it.
No.
You have a purchasing agreement?
When I purchased the car, I paid cash. All he did was give me a receipt.
Can I see that, please?
She kept the receipt because it was inside her car.
Oh, good. Do you have the receipt?
No, I don't.
Do you have the title?
Yes, I have the title.
Let me see the title.
The title and the registration.
Now, Mr. Evans, you want to tell me why you titled these cars in her name? Both of them. Not just one, but both of them.
Well, all three of them are in her name.
Tell me why you put all three of them in her name.
Because she had, like, good credit, and my credit was, like,
What do you need credit for if you're paying in cash?
well, for the first car, we financed it.
I'm not talking about the first car. I'm talking about the Beretta. You said you paid for the Beretta in cash.
Right.
So if you paid for the Beretta in cash, why didn't you title it in your name?
Well, all my cars are titled in other people's name because my insurance is a non-owner insurance policy, so it allows me to drive other cars.
Well, who has insurance on this Beretta?
Well, I have insurance on all the cars.
Mr. Evans, this all sounds like a little bit of a hustle to me, sir. So, Mr. Evans, you say you put the car in her name first because she had better credit than you did. But 2 seconds before, you told me you paid cash for the car, so that has absolutely nothing to do with credit. So there was absolutely no reason to put the cars in her name,
No, it wasn't.
unless you were trying to avoid something.
Well, avoiding paying higher insurance, if anything.
So you were really fooling the insurance company.
I wouldn't say fooling the insurance company.
Well, you see, you got fooled yourself because she's got the Beretta. She could have the Cavalier, too.
Pretty much so, yes.
Darn right. She could go and pick up the Cavalier right out of your driveway. And you could be stomping around and saying to the police, I want my car back, and they could say, not your car.
Right.
It's your car.
I already did that.
Who already did that?
I did. I called the police and tried to make a report on the vehicles because, like I said, I purchased them. They told me I couldn't because they was registered in her name.
No, I said to you, she could call the police and say, he's got my car, the Cavalier, I want it back. The police would go, pick up the Cavalier, and bring it to her house. And then she would have the Cavalier, and you could stomp around all you like, but they're her cars. You got it?
Right.
So sometimes when you try to pull one scam, it ends up coming back and biting you in the behind. You understand?
Yes.
Do you enjoy the Beretta?
Yes.
Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may stay on the calendar in the matter of Young versus Perry. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Gentlemen, have seats, please.
All right. Miss Young, the defendant is your former boyfriend, and you do have a child together.
Yes.
According to your complaint, there came a time when he purchased a car for you. It was a used car. Purchase price of the car was $1,800. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
According to you, you gave him a check for $1,008, and he said to you the rest was a gift.
No.
Shh. I said according to her. And then sometime later, he took back the car without your permission. You want to be reimbursed for the $1,008 check that you gave him, as well as for items that you claim were in the car when he repossessed it. Is that your lawsuit?
Yes.
You, on the other hand, Mr. Perry, claim that you did in fact purchase a car for her. She gave you a check for $1,008, and there was an agreement, since you had put this car on your American Express bill, that she would pay you the other $800 before you had to pay your entire American Express bill. She didn't make the payments, you took back the car.
That is correct.
And then you have a countersuit for $750 that you claim is depreciation on the car during the time she drove it. When did you purchase the car, sir?
November the 16th, Your Honor.
And you brought it home to her?
To her residence, right.
Were you living together at the time?
No.
Okay, now he brings the car home to your residence, and you have a conversation. And tell me your version of the conversation.
Okay. He heard of it. I was looking to buy another car. He heard of a really good deal on a particular car, and I was not able to go see the car because I was in school taking final exams. We had a discussion. I said, why don't you go check it out and tell me about it, pay for it, and I'll give you the money back. When he went to the dealership, he called me back and forth describing the car, describing the mileage, describing how much they wanted for it, and I said, because in the beginning the whole thing was I was going to purchase. I did have the money. He purchased the car, he came to my residence with the car, and as I was driving back home, I made a statement, you know, you should really just buy this car from me. We've been together for 5 years, you know, you can afford it.
Now, just a second. Now, let's go slowly, Miss Young.
Okay.
You said to him, you should really buy this car for me?
Well, yeah, we had been talking off and on about things that I need that in a relationship people help each other out with.
Tell me about the conversation that you claim you had with him at the house.
Now, after we got to his residence where I was going to drop him off, I said, how much should I make this check out for?
No. You started to say something about we were in a relationship a long time, so I said you really should buy me the car. Right. When did you have this conversation
As
with
I
him?
was taking him home after he got to my house with the car.
Yeah.
And I was taking him back to his house.
So tell me about that conversation. I want to hear what you said to him and what he said to you.
He said that he couldn't do it right then. He wasn't in a position to buy the car.
All right, so you asked him, you said, you should be a good guy and buy this car for me, and he said no.
Exactly.
All right. So.
Okay, so when I get to his house, I asked him, how much should I make this check out for? He said, he thought for a moment.
Look at me. Look at me.
He thought for a moment, and he said, well, make the check out for $1,000.
No.
It's $1,000.
Listen to me, Mr. Perry. You're going to have an opportunity, but don't interrupt her. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
The purchase price was $1,807.98. He said, well, make it out for $1,007.98, which is $800 less than the purchase price. After he told me how much to make it out for, he complained on how he felt that he really shouldn't be doing this. And in other words, he kind of got the feeling that he was helping me out, but he kind of didn't want to, but he did because he knew it was, you know, something that I had asked him, if you understand what I mean.
I'm listening.
The rest of it is, again, we never made any agreements on repayment, nothing like that, because the balance of it was a gift.
No, I'll decide whether it was a gift.
Okay.
All right, so what happened with the car?
Right after Christmas, I called the dealership because I had temporary plates in the window, and I'm asking them, where are the plates? I need the plates. They told me that he had picked up the plates 3 weeks prior. I called him at home and asked him, well, why do you have the plates? Why won't you give me the plates in my car? And he got really upset at that point and said, well, my name is on that car too. Well, can I back up? When he gave me the bill of sale, when I gave him the check, I gave him the check, he gave me the bill of sales. I asked him, why is your name on here? He told me that because he put it on his credit card, his name has to go on the registration also, and that he had signed a waiver at the dealership stating that the car was mine. As
Can I
I
see that
said,
bill of sale, please? All right. We're now a month later in December.
yes,
December what?
December 27th.
12/27, he takes back the car.
12/27, we had a discussion on the phone when I was asking him about the plates, that I need the plates, the registration is going to fall, and the dealership said you picked up the plates. Why did you pick up the plates, and why won't you give them to me? He said, well, that car is in my name, too. I said, well, we both know the car is mine. You know, it doesn't matter whose name the registration is in. You know, that doesn't matter to me. The car is mine. The next day when I came home from work, my garage was open, and the car was gone. I knew he had took the car. However, I filed a police report for a stolen vehicle. The police in my city told me that even if I had to pay 90%, he paid 10 because there's 2 names on the registration that they cannot put a stolen vehicle suit on that. That they can only do the criminal trespassing and taking it without permission.
Okay. Now, what items do you claim were in the car when he took it?
Okay. Our son's child seat is in the car. He has not.
Who purchased that?
Shh.
He refuses to return it.
I'm sorry.
Child seat. Go ahead.
I also have, it was some cowboy boots in the car. I had bought 2 pair. 1 pair for him, 1 pair for me. He has his. Mine were still in there. I have the receipt for those.
Let me see it.
Later.
Let me see it. Shh, just a second. Just a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What's next?
I also had my stethoscope because I'm going to nursing school and some school supplies in the car. Also, there is, now I don't know how you got, who he had to get the car, but I also had a gold chain in the car. It's in a box. It was actually a gift for him for Christmas, but we broke up before Christmas, so I never gave it to him.
Wait 1 second. Where is the...
The receipt for that is in the car with the stuff.
Oh, well, you can get another receipt for the chain. What is this bill for Jarp's Western Store? Is that for the boots that you say were still in the car?
Yes.
Were there boots in the car?
No, Your Honor.
No, there weren't.
No.
No, there weren't.
Yes, all of those things.
No, there weren't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Diana Young says ex-boyfriend Craig Perry stole her Cadillac. Craig says he paid for the vehicle.
Miss Young.
Yes.
The bill for Western boots is dated 12/14.
That's right, before.
Shh.
Okay.
Oh, I understand before. But unless you can come up with a really fast answer as to why you kept brand new cowboy boots in the car for 2 weeks and a brand new gold necklace that you were going to give him for Christmas in the car, in its box.
Do you want the explanation?
Oh, yeah, I would like the explanation.
I have 2 vehicles. All of those things were in that car after I purchased it. I left them in the car. And actually, I left a lot of Christmas gifts in the car. And when Christmas came, I took the kids' stuff out, my family things out, and I left certain things in there. The car was in the garage. I drove the van around. I didn't really think nobody would take the car or the stuff in the car.
All right.
I mean, I have new stuff in my other van right now.
Well, that's pretty stupid considering the fact that you already knew that anybody can go into a car and take out stuff from the car. I don't believe that there was anything other than the child seat in the car. What about the stethoscope?
Yes, Your Honor, it was.
That was in
And
the car,
some school-
and that
school
you
things.
have,
Yes.
and that you're going to return.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Common sense suggests that your gold chain that you bought him for Christmas after you had these
I actually
words
was
on
going
the
to
phone,
return it.
then you have it in your house. And also your new cowboy boots. You bought them on the 14th. What were you
Right.
doing leaving him in the car?
Especially
I just
when I got
explained
mine
it
December
to you.
7th.
No. They weren't a Christmas present for him. You said
No,
you
they
bought
weren't.
2 pair.
Yes.
One for you, one for him.
Yes.
He's wearing his, and you left yours in the car. Why?
There was no reason to take them out.
There was no reason to take cowboy boots into the house? Right. All right. Miss Young,
Yes.
I've been around the block a little bit.
Okay, that's fine.
So far, you're ahead of the game on your $1,008. Stethoscope you're going to get back. Let's get to the child seat. Who bought the child seat?
I did, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Yes, he purchased it.
You use that child seat?
No, Your Honor, I don't.
Oh, if you don't use it, then you're going to give it back to her.
Yes, I am.
I've been asking
Oh,
him for
fine.
it.
So you're going to give her back her stethoscope, any medical stuff that she has, any notes, any books, and anything else?
The
that
only
were in
thing
car?
that was in the car, Your Honor, was the baby's bag, my son's bag, a stethoscope, like she said, and the car seat itself.
Okay,
That's
you're going to
it.
give those things back to her
Can you
within
ask- I'm
24
sorry.
hours. Yes.
Can you ask him who took the car? Because did you take the car?
Just a second. Don't ask him. You said, can I ask him?
Yes,
I don't
please.
care who took the car. He took it back. He acknowledges he took it back. Okay. Mr. Perry, you tell me about the conversation when you brought the car home.
The conversation when I brought the vehicle home, I spent the night at her house that particular night. We woke up that morning, and she was to drop me off at home, which she did. When we got in front of my home, I'm breaking out the paperwork because she already knew what the total amount was. All of a sudden, now it's like, well, you know, it's getting ready to be close to Christmas time, and my money's kind of short. Huh? What do you mean short? Okay, what can you give me right now? Well, I can give you $1,000 right now, and then I can give you
Miss Young,
$400 payments.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah,
To him? Say the same thing
She
to
said,
you.
I can give you $400 payments. I said, okay, well, that's fine, as long as I get it before the bill is due. She said, oh, I can do that. Okay?
Listen to me. I want to see your American Express bill.
Sure, right here.
Thank you.
One is the bill itself, and the other is where I made the payment on the bill.
So she agreed to make payments on the bill.
She agreed to make payments. She never made any payments on it. Every time that I asked about the payments, it's like something come up, something come up. I do have a 17-year-old son with her, okay, which I love very much. I'm trying to deal with her in the situation, okay? I did not start sweating her until after she started constantly asking me about the license plates to the vehicle. I said, Diane, I have the license plates to the car. She said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to report the license plates stolen. I said, what do you mean you're going to report the license plates stolen? She said, you keep the license plates. I'm going to report them stolen because the title was coming to my house in the first place, and I'm not going to give you any more money on the vehicle. I said, how can you do that? She said, because I called down there and had the address changed, because it originally is in my address.
Okay. You took back the car.
I took back the car, yes.
All right, Mr. Perry, this is not a very difficult case. She drove the car for approximately a month, is that
That's
right?
correct.
Your counterclaim is dismissed for $750 for depreciation on the car. It's nonsense. You know it's nonsense, and I know it's nonsense. Okay. The items that were in the car when you took back the car, because I do find that there was an agreement that she would pay you the additional $800, I believe.
Excuse me.
Put your hand down.
That is not true.
Put your
I
hand.
lie.
Hey, look at me. Don't speak. I'm ruling. I listen to you. I listen to you. Now you listen to me. I do believe that there was an agreement to pay off
That is not true.
the additional $800 for the car. You, Ms. Young, are absolutely entitled to your $1,008 back. You are absolutely entitled to your medical equipment that was in the car that the defendant is going to return to you. And he has indicated that despite the fact that he purchased the car seat, that also will be returned to you. I do not believe that you left a brand new gold chain or brand new boots for weeks in your car. I think that's a lot of baloney. So, I am entering a judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,008, and I am dismissing your counterclaim for the car's depreciation.
Your Honor, can I say one thing? Her name, by her name still being on the title of the vehicle, is it any way possible that she can sign off on that title by me giving her, refunding her the money?
Oh, yeah, do you have that?
No, I don't have anything.
All right,
Back
very,
up.
very easy. Ms. Young, with the entry of this judgment in the amount of $1,008, do you agree that you will relinquish all title and interest in the car that is currently in the defendant's possession?
I have no problem with that. I
So
just
the
want my
answer
money
is
back.
yes, you will.
Sure, I will, yes.
Yes, you will. Then that will be part of the order, that the plaintiff agrees that upon receipt of $1,008, she will, in fact, sign over title to the defendant. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You lied. First of all, I hate that it had to go this far. Second of all, he lied.
I think the judge was very fair, and she saw right through her lying.
There was no agreement for this vehicle, and he knows it, and I know it. There was no payment arrangements.
It was a verbal agreement.
There was no agreement at all, and you know it, Craig.
I'm lying, Donna?
Yeah.
And now the next case.
All parties on Wandick versus Munoz. Step forward, please.
17-year-old Barbara Wandick and her mother Marcela Avitia are suing 58-year-old caregiver Olivia Munoz for the return of a down payment on a car.
Who's Miss Wandick?
That's me.
And who are you?
Her mother.
You can sit down. How old are you, Miss Wandick?
17 years old.
There came a time when you were looking for a car. It was about a year and a half ago?
Approximately August of 1999.
And you were 15 then, is that right?
Correct.
You saw that the defendant had a car. You went and arranged to buy this car from her. You gave her $1,000 deposit. And then there were some arrangements that you were going to pay out the car within the next month or 2 months or whatever. You didn't make the car payments, and you didn't buy the car.
Correct.
And you want your $1,000 back.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
Ms. Munoz,
Yes, ma'am.
when she came to your house
Yes.
and wanted to purchase the car, did you have her sign a contract?
No, ma'am. We didn't have a contract. I just wrote out a receipt, which I have as evidence.
That she gave you $1,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did she come to your house with?
She came, Barbara Wanda came to my house with a young man.
A boyfriend?
Yes, a husband. I thought it was a husband.
You thought it was her husband?
Yes.
She was
wasn't.
only 15.
That's the first time that I find out her age.
Ms. Munoz, let me tell you what the law is, because this case will be handled very swiftly. The law is that you cannot enter into a valid contract, either written or oral, with a minor. Being a minor is an absolute defense to a contract. Do you understand?
I understand that, Your Honor, that she did not present herself as a minor.
She doesn't have to. She can have gray hair. She can be long in the tooth. It doesn't make any difference. If she's under 18, she cannot enter into a valid contract. And it's up to people like yourself to say to somebody who looks young, because she clearly looks young, I'd like to see your driver's license. And so would I. I would like to see your driver's license so that I can be certain that you are how old you say you are. Do you have a driver's license?
No, I do not.
Do you have any proof of your age?
Well, I did bring my work permit in
That I
order
can
to show
see.
you.
That I can see.
I believe it has my birth date. Yeah, it has my birth date right there.
$928.83. Got it? Ms. Munoz.
Yes, ma'am.
Got to give her back $1,000.
Well, can I say something?
Sure.
When Barbara came to my house with this young man, they had told me that they were expecting a baby and they needed to buy this car before the baby was due, and that they both had jobs. So that's why I assumed that they were married, you know. And we went out for a test drive on this car, and she liked it, and I did let her know that I had other interested buyers, and I did not want to take the down payment, the $1,000. I wanted my money in full, but she
And that's
pleaded-
what you should have done. You should have said, I don't want to take a down payment. I have other interested buyers who are going to buy the car outright, so I am going to sell it to somebody else. Meanwhile, she didn't come up with the remainder of the money. You still have the car. She was a minor. You have to return her $1,000. It's an absolute defense. Being a minor is an absolute defense to a contract. She cannot enter into a valid contract. You must return her money. Do you understand? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's it.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She sure didn't present herself as